Thank you very much, Chairman Wyden and Ranking Member Murkowski. I appreciate the opportunity to address the committee today on two important bills to Alaska. It's no coincidence that both bills, Senate Bill 522, the Salmon Lake Land Exchange, and S881, Sea Alaska Lands Bill, deal with Alaskans' relationship to the land. We believe that Alaskans' daily connection to our land is more intense than most of America. ANCSA, the Alaska Native Land Claims Act of 1971, was a sweeping act that returned 44 million acres out of 360 million acres of total of Alaska to the indigenous peoples of the state in exchange for surrendering fee simple title. ANCSA may be history for many in Congress, but the act continues to define daily life in my state 40 years after its passage. I'm a co-sponsor on both of these measures and support your speedy passage of both. Having said that, I realize the path is much more straightforward on one than the other. Senate Bill 522, I'm aware of no opposition to this three-way land exchange that resolves competing state native claims for pieces of federal land. My office has received not one single communication opposing this legislation. In conversations between two Alaskans, you're likely to get three more opinions on the same subject. So when we see a consensus, the deal is obviously a good one. Turning to Senate Bill 881, the Sea Alaska Lands Bill, again, I'm proud to be a co-sponsor and hope you will give it your fullest attention. But here the landscape is more complex. Sea Alaska Corporation, the ANCSA Regional Corporation for the Native People of Southeast Alaska, has not completed its lands claims. In addition to returning some land to the Native people of Alaska, ANCSA set up Native-owned for-profit corporations to hold this land and look after the economic well-being of their shareholders. This system is the right one for our state, but we have to recognize the new construct Congress created. Instead of the reservation system, invites a natural tension. In order to do the morally right thing and the thing that Congress charged them to do, look after their people, corporations have to engage in commerce with the resources they were given. This is primarily the lands that their ancestors have relied on for generations. With 40 years of hindsight, we can see that a number of restrictions placed on Sea Alaska's ability to select lands both increase the likelihood of community conflict and restrict their ability to engage in more sustainable economic development for the region. The bill before you is an attempt by Sea Alaska Corporation to achieve a balance in their remaining land selections. It is an attempt to better balance their responsibility as stewards of their lands and their economic responsibility to shareholders and their communities of Southeast Alaska where the shareholders live. I hope today that you will hear testimony that explain this in great detail today and later in less formal briefings. I appreciate your patience and your help as we move Alaskans closer together on solving this issue. As an aside, I know that you'll hear from a father of one of my interns today with some concerns on this bill. Bob Klaus, a retired state trooper, will speak on behalf of SEAC, Southeast Alaska Conservation Council. That demonstrates pretty well the level of community discussion and interest in this legislation. As Alaskans, it's critical that we come to agreement on this issue of the Sea Alaska Lands Bill so we can move forward on the larger issues of the future of Tongass. If we don't, they will be dictated to us and likely in the unpredictable outcomes of the court system. I want to thank you for the interest in this legislation, and I hope that you will have a positive consideration and conclusion to moving these bills forward. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.